Yeah, is it visible, Bindu?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, hi everybody. As Ranveer already introduced, I'm Anusia Bose, and we represent a few of the Canadian universities in India. So we would be guiding you throughout the procedure and just letting you know about the university, the courses, as Ranveer already mentioned. So I'm sure all of you have registered for the Canadian education to know about the web, more about the Canadian system. So you are already aware about where Canada is and where it is located. And it's a country in the North America with 10 provinces and 3 territories, and being the second largest country by total area. And just to talk about why Canada. So I'm sure you would be already having something in mind, why Canada. So the first thing is, in Canada, most of the universities are public universities, which are funded and accredited by provincial governments. And undergraduate, I don't know whether it's a combination, like currently the students who are have joined us, are they for undergraduate or masters? But most of the degrees, they would be recognized anywhere in the world, whether you want to stay back in Canada or go to United States or UK or any other country. So it really doesn't matter because they are all public universities. So certainly they have to maintain a level of education. It really doesn't matter in Canada whether it's a bigger university or a smaller university, because the education system would be same everywhere you go. A smaller university can, provide you small classes, greater access to professors, undergraduate research opportunities, smaller cities. So sometimes, a smaller kind of a class would be more useful for you because you have more one-on-one interaction with the professors. So that's the first thing, is being a public. Another thing is they have a standardized teaching with a high quality. Whether you're going to a smaller university, bigger university, they have the same level of education. It's again little inexpensive if you really compare their tuition fee with some of the US universities. So Canada comes out to be very reasonable, and they do also offer a large number of scholarships, which we would be talking about a little later. Another advantage is having a global exposure, because from when you're studying in a class where you will have students from different countries. So of course the kind of exposure you're getting is a global exposure. A simple thing like doing a presentation, a way which an Indian student would be doing and a way which an African student or a student from China would be doing is different. So throughout the process, basically you are learning a lot. So that is what basically you require when you're going to Canada for a global exposure. Then of course, we all know it's a multicultural country where students from all over the world would be coming. And as I told you, the best part is they have provided research opportunities even at an undergraduate level, which usually it's a little rare to find in India as of now. Some of the universities are coming up, but still it's a concept which is very common in Canada. Rankings in Canada, usually, as I just told you, for an undergraduate level specifically, there's no particular ranking. Whenever you are choosing a university, you just have to see what is best for you. I mean, that would depend. Maybe, sometimes students have some relatives staying in a province, or maybe there's a particular course which is available in a particular university. So ideally, those would be the criteria to choose a university, because there's no wrong choice which you can really make in Canada, because they are all offering the same kind of education system. The only size of the university might matter. That's the difference. Then to talk about the work experience. So it's that while you're studying on a student visa, I'm sure you all are aware that, you get a 20 hours work permit, or 20 hours per week you can work, once you are in Canada. So that is, of course, with your student visa, you get that. So, but apart from that, there are a lot of other opportunities also, because while you're studying, depending on the course, there are a lot of field experience, practicum, co-ops. Co-ops are basically, kind of a paid internship, which we call in India. So that is available. And in the fourth year, they have those applied research projects also, which students can take at an undergraduate level. And the best part is that after you complete the program, you get a 3-year post-study work permit in Canada. So anybody doing an undergraduate program would be eligible for a 3-year work permit. But if you're really going for a 1-year program or a postgraduate diploma, which is for 16 months, then the duration would be of the same tenure. Just not only the quality, but Canada as a country is also very tolerant. I mean, I'm sure you all would have read about Canada. So not only like there are a lot of social securities, respect for human rights, And if the best part is the education, the child's education, public health, these are all, taken care by the government. So it's a good idea to not only complete your studies there, but even settling down. There are a lot of advantages of staying back in Canada and getting some kind of an experience there. Canada is stable. In fact, Canada has a stable, growing economy and a vast resource. So whether it is dealing with global crisis, economic crisis, Canada has always been able to do it very well, and they really want to sustain their high standard of living. So apart from providing economic and social stability, it's a good place to start your career, to start a family, to start a because it's a society supported by the government, which is education, community institutes, or any organization. There's free healthcare, employment insurance, outstanding public education is available for students. We all know it's a multicultural, society, so they always welcome migrants there. So even like the opportunities to stay back in Canada is much more open rather than going to any other country. Just to tell you a little bit about the programs, I mean, usually they have a lot of programs at an undergraduate and at a master's level. For an undergraduate level, if you're really looking into something like a medicine, dentistry, law, architecture, these come out to be as a secondary program. What does that mean? That you have to complete the program once you complete your graduation. So anybody who's really looking for a medicine, what we call in India, the MBBS, so it's not like a direct entry from after class 12. You basically have to complete a graduation in Canada, and then sit for their entrances. Like for medicine, there's you'll have to sit for their entrances. That's the medical college admission test, which is known as MCAT. Some of you might have heard about it already. If you're really looking for a law program, then you have to sit for something like an LSAT. So those entrances have to be cleared, but that comes at a later stage. So these are known as a secondary education, secondary programs. So you cannot really directly go after your class 12. So to talk about the campuses in Canada, the university campuses, so obviously it's not only studies. So there are a lot of activities happening. There are a lot of societies, sports clubs, which students can join. In fact, there are a lot of universities which also, celebrate the Indian festivals as well, because, we have heard a lot of time, students, they have their Diwali, the Baisakhi festival. So it's not like that you would be missing. There are a lot of societies which would be actually helping you to deal with these situations, because I know, because during the festivals you really want to stay with your family. So but these societies help you to celebrate everything together, so that you don't miss that what you would be your country. Basically those festivals and all, you can really do that. Apart from that, a lot of other activities are happening, like there are theaters, parties, fundraising programs going on campus. And there's a lot of fitness there. Obviously Canada is very fitness conscious. So, even the sports facilities, the gyms and all are also available in most of the campuses in Canada, so which the students can easily avail. So we can talk more about the questions which you might be having. This is just to give you a very basic idea about the Canadian system. If you have any specific queries, please, I'm here only, so we can deal with it shortly. But now it's over to my colleague Bindu. She can just tell you a little bit about the courses and the universities we can assist you with, and then we can take up the question answer sessions.
Sure. Thank you, Anu. Ranveer, would I be able to share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to do that as a host.
Thank you, Ranveer. Yeah, thank you. Is my screen, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. So students, by now you get an idea about how studies are in Canada, and what are the different flexibility that we have in Canada, and other various important information. So I'll just run through very briefly on the universities that we handle. So foremost is St. Mary's University, which is in Halifax in Nova Scotia province. It's a university which is very old, established in 1806, a public university. They have all the streams. So they have engineering, commerce, science, all the three streams. And, St. Mary's has got a very multicultural, international, student-friendly campus. So you'll find students from, all over, around the globe. So it's quite multicultural in feature. All the major courses in St. Mary's University, in all the streams, they provide co-op. So like Anu has just mentioned in the earlier slides, co-op means paid internships. So that is one major thing which they have. And and it's a public university, so you get all the, all the benefits of a public university here. In fact, all the universities we have tie-up with are public universities, so medium-sized class sizes and so on. So apart from St. Mary's, so these are the programs in St. Mary's. So arts, business, science, engineering, environmental science, environmental studies. Next is UNBC, which is University of Northern British Columbia. This is how they are placed in the map. You get an idea of where they are placed in Canada. Again, they have average class sizes. Again, they have all the courses. So arts, commerce, science, education, health sciences, social services, social work. No, so they have all the courses. Then we have Royal Roads University. This is how they are placed. Again, Royal Road University, it's in Victoria, British Columbia. They have programs which are a little offbeat, like, different. Now students are more and more interested in justice studies, or you say business administration or tourism management. So you'll find that we have University of Lethbridge. Here they are placed. The thing to mention here, apart from the fact that they have all the courses, is Lethbridge is home to Canadian Center for the Behavioral Neuroscience. Again, neuroscience is a course which is in demand now. More and more students want to do neuroscience, psychology, and related courses. So they have fine arts as well, business, arts, health sciences. University of Saskatchewan. Should I continue, Ranveer? You have a study abroad poll?
No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you.
Okay. So University of Saskatchewan, again, you'll find, so it's in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan province. The highlight in Saskatchewan is they have got, more than 130 academic programs. So they have the most wide range of programs with them. So this is the list. So just to mention, like, other than the normal art science, they have life sciences, they have indigenous programs, they have language and communications, they have maths, engineering, technology, society, and law. Wilfrid Laurier, which is in Ontario. The entry to Wilfrid Laurier University is slightly competitive. So again, they have all the programs. So arts, human, social science, music, international policy, governance. Then we have NEIT, which is a more of a, technology-oriented institute. So they have this business, construction, design, engineering, technology. So they have more of diploma programs, and they also do have bachelor degrees. Lakehead University, Thunder Bay, Ontario. Again, they have all the fine arts, science, engineering, they have all the streams. Thompson River University, which is in Kamloops, British Columbia. They have all the programs. So journalism, fine arts, if anyone is looking out for those keywords. Ontario Tech University, Oshawa, Ontario. Again, they have various programs in undergraduate level. So business, information technology, education, health sciences, social sciences, humanities. So this is just a snapshot of the universities that we would be able to help you out with. If you want to take a screenshot or a snapshot, you're most welcome to do that, so that in case if you want to refer to this later on, you can do that. Now, I think that we have more of UG students here in the audience, but just in case, if we have few masters and PG students, then so
audio.
So the masters, masters programs with them would be MBA. Is it clear now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So computing and data analytics, that's a catch, keyword which most of the students are looking out for. So MSc-DA program, International Master of Teaching, Master of Finance, Master of Applied Economics. These are the master's programs with St. Mary's University. Royal Road University, again, have programs like tourism management, global management, global leaders, and so on. We have Lakehead University, and these are all the master's programs. So mechanical, engineering, environmental, business management, MBA. We have Cape Breton University also. So that is all for now. We are open to question answer round.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I think we have been getting quite a few
Thank you.
queries.
Yeah,
If you
good,
can,
yeah.
perhaps we can take them one by one. I think Kushi had a query on scholarships. She didn't mention which course, but perhaps Kushi, you would like to clarify that for which program and level. Kushi Vindra, I'll just put you on speaker.
Hi, Kushi, can you just unmute your mic?
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
for
hi.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Sure, sure. So I just wanted to check, like, are you looking for an undergraduate or a master's program?
undergraduate.
Undergrad, great. Actually, each university do provide a lot of scholarship. So it depends on your marks, basically, because some of the universities might go ahead with an 80 plus with scholarships. Some might be 90 plus with scholarship, right? But the amount also varies, it depending on the university to university. Like just to give an example, like St. Mary's University, we do. So their scholarship can range starting from 1,000 Canadian dollars, can go up to 7,000 Canadian dollar per year. But you have to remember, these all scholarships are performance based. So you perform well and you get it in the next year. So it's like that. So it's not like initially if we say that, okay, you're getting a 7,000. So it doesn't mean that if you're not maintaining the academics, you will not get it the next year. So it's like that. But again, it's very
Okay.
specific to the university. So you really need to decide on the university. So we can actually tell you how much scholarship you would be getting.
Okay.
Okay. And apart from that, just to let you know, first year there are a lot of scholarship, but from second year onwards, there are a lot of bursaries also available to students. But that would be available only once you're on the campus.
Okay.
For which course was this, Kushi?
Business management,
Business.
basically.
All right. Are you looking for next year? Or the
Yeah,
following
2022,
22? All right.
September or May.
Okay,
Right.
just to add on, Kushi, if you're really planning to apply for the next year, you should start applying anytime by October this year, because the applications would open by October.
Yeah.
So usually, most of the universities just need your 10th and 12th marks. Some might require a LOR or, some kind of, not much documentation is needed for Canada. But and IELTS might be also waived off if you're really from a CBSE, IB or ISC board. But you have to keep in mind that you have to also apply for visa. So we do recommend that you also can start off with the IELTS preparation if you're looking for next year, because once your exams would be there, so you'll get busy with the pre-boards and the final exams. So best to take it within this year then.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's just mark that as answered live. I think we had a query for medical post-graduation. I'm not sure, presumably masters.
Masters, it's not going to be very easy, because as you understand, even getting into an undergraduate program is very competitive. So masters also, there would be a lot of, entrances you'll have to clear. So it's not going to be a very easy. And they don't have those kind of programs also. Like maximum you can get into something into a public masters in public health, but nothing specific to more than that.
Perhaps we'll need to have a look at the profile from.
Absolutely, they are very competitive.
And just
very
share.
Yeah.
So what you can do is I'll just put it in the chat also. You can just share your CV, and I'll put it to the person here too. Vaishnavi Mehta for diploma courses before entering university. Maybe a foundation or.
Yeah, Vaishnavi, are you after 12th? You can actually directly apply to a university. You really don't need to go for a diploma if your marks are good. So you can just, you've joined in. I think you can just unmute your mic.
Yeah. Vaishnavi, you're free to talk if you wish to.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Just give us your background.
Yeah, so I just had a doubt that right now I did inquire in one institute. So they told that it is not that easy to take admission in bachelor's directly in economics. So they told that for that you need to give some diploma exams, or you need to do some courses, and after that you will get an admission in economics college. So can we directly get, or is it necessary?
Yes, you can. I mean, depends on your marks. I mean, what you are in your 12th right now, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, and how much did you score in 10th? Just a
81.
81, perfectly all right. You don't really need to go for a diploma. You are eligible to get into many of the bachelor's program in Canada, basically in economics. So it shouldn't be a problem. The only thing is, if you're really looking into a specifically BA, BCom, or a kind of a BBA specialization into economics, in that case, you might just need a maths. But apart from that, it's not a problem. Do you have maths in 12th?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's not a problem whether you want a BA economics or you want a BCom or a BBA in economics. It's all you would be eligible for that. No problem at all.
Broadly, what would be the cutoff overall and for
Usually,
maths?
depending again on the university, but with a 70 plus is very easy to get through. It's not a problem.
Overall and maths minimum 70%.
Yes, and in case maths is not there, then the students are eligible for a BA economics, because that really doesn't require maths.
So Khushi, are you looking for next year? Sorry, Vaishnavi? For
Yeah,
year?
next
Yeah.
year.
Okay. So again, I would encourage you to send us your profile or CV. But in principle, you should be eligible to apply for some of the universities that you have.
Yeah.
And given that the courses are popular, and they typically do get filled up, or perhaps by the winter session, depending on the universities in your interest to apply early.
Okay.
Anything further? You had a follow-up query, directed admission without any diploma. I think we've answered that also, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I think Vaishnavi's we've just answered.
Yeah, then there's Himanshu.
I'll just Himanshu saying he's completed his 10th standard with PPCB, English, interested for bachelor's in nursing.
Nursing would be slightly difficult in Canada without maths. They really need maths actually.
Maths.
So, but just to let you know, Himanshu, there are like some options, because some universities might offer you prep maths on campus, before the start of your session. And so another option is, if you really want to do a maths, you can also take it from this NIOS, because most of the Canadian universities do accept the maths, from the NIOS. That's the National Institute of Open Schooling. So because, they have an option, of course, pandemic, it was not possible, but usually they have an option of taking the one particular subject on demand. So that is also accepted. So, but otherwise, without the maths, it's going to be very tough for nursing. Maybe some diploma programs still. I mean, he can just connect with you,
right.
Ranveer.
Perhaps,
We have
yeah.
some options here.
I think just email us your CV
Sure.
or profile. I'll just type it. Manchu, does that answer your question? I think you're unmuted now. Hi, Manchu. Okay, perhaps there's some disturbance. Dipesh Mishram is inquiring 10 years experience, done MBA, keen for data science, asking generally for visa aspects.
Yeah.
So
actually, it a little bit also depends on your age.
right.
Because, if you're saying 10 years, so if you really are, early 30s, is usually not a problem if you're really wanting to go for a master's program. And we do have, programming to masters in computing with data analysis. It's quite a popular program. So because it's a booming industry, we all know. So that's why you have a chance, but you really have to make a strong profile for the visa purpose. Admissions are totally based on academics, and there's a, technical interview, programming test. So these are all based on that. So, but if we can send you your profile, we can check it and let him know, and forward you the programming test so that he can, do that as well.
So in principle, preferably for a university which is reputed or highly reputed, would assist in the visa.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything further, Dipesh? You're looking for next year?
Yeah, next year. So my age is 34 years.
Okay.
And I have done undergrad in electrical engineering and MBA.
And your work experience is related to data analytics? Is it something related?
Yeah, related to data
Oh,
analytics.
yeah, because yeah, basically it becomes a problem for the visa. So if you can really justify that, it's not a problem. You should try, I would say.
Okay.
What grades did you get? Though it's obviously 10 years ago. BTech in
Sorry?
electrical? You said you did a BTech in electrical?
Yes.
Okay. What division or grade did you get?
CGPA, I got 7.
Okay.
I have given IELTS as well.
Right.
So
Okay.
recently the score arrived, so it's 8.
Right. Then principal, just email us your documents. It's in the chat. You can send us your profile and we can see how best to take it forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
I guess we got some anonymous age for joining the university's typical tuition fee. And if I'm taking a 16-month postgraduate program,
Yeah, so just
what will be the
just to
PGWP?
Yeah, sorry, just to broadly let you know, this as such, as far as the universities are concerned, they really don't have a joining age. But as we just discussed, the problem can be with the visa. So that is, we have to see your whole overall profile to really suggest you whether you're fine or not to go ahead with that program. And basically, the fees are, on annual basis. Again, depends on what university or what program you're choosing. I mean, usually master's program, on an average, if we talk about, it's a 16 months or 2-year full-time program. So they usually, cost, somewhere around starting from a 35,000 Canadian dollars can go up to 45, 50,000 Canadian dollars, again, depending on the course they are choosing. If it's a master's program for 16 months, usually the postgraduate work permit students get are for 3 years. If it's a master's, but it really changes if student is doing a diploma, because if it's a diploma, then usually a 16-month student program would fetch them only a 16 months work permit only.
Okay.
But masters, because it come as a 2-year program, academic program, that's why it's a 3-year work permit.
3 years. Okay. Fine. Just answer that as live. Manya inquiring about university accommodation. I guess that's. Do you have any particular university in mind, Manya, or any particular query? I'll just try and get you. Hi, Manya.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, Manya.
Yeah, actually, I was interested in University of Calgary. So I was searching for dorm rooms. So I want to know more about if we have roommates and stuff.
Roommates you want to know, or you want to know whether they have on-campus rooms available or not?
Yes, I want to know that.
Okay, usually all universities have their own campuses, but you really on residences on campus, but you have to really apply on time because they all have deadlines. So if you're, which intake are you looking for?
I'm actually looking for undergraduate for biotech, but I'm in 11th right now. So
okay. Yeah, so obviously once you're in 12, so I think you're looking for 2023 in that case, right? So anytime by October 2022, you should start applying. And that time, if you apply for residencies, so you will get the on-campus residence. But if you really wait till, getting the results and then applying, then sometimes our rooms are already full.
Okay, and I also want to know whether maths is compulsory in all universities, because mostly they're saying that they need maths for biotech programs.
Yes, it would be actually. If you're really looking for a science, most of them will have. But as I was just suggesting another child that, in case you can, because some of the universities do offer something as a UPrep maths before the start of the session, so you can do that. And some of the universities also, most of them actually also accept the NIOS maths, because you can check with that. So, but maths would be still needed.
Yeah, so I
otherwise getting into so you'll have to do that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thanks. Manasvi saying inquiring for biotech, marine biology. I'm not sure which level. Manasvi, would you like to clarify? I think you're in grade 11, so I presume it's a 2023 inquiry.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm in 11th
undergraduate
right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm looking for undergraduate.
Biotech and marine bio.
Biotechnology, of course, are available in a lot of universities. Marine biology might be, very in very selected universities, but I hope you're from a science stream with maths.
Yes, ma'am. I've taken PCMB.
Yeah, then it's not a problem. You should be getting, but again, as I suggested, from next year, October, you should start applying.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
You can certainly send us your profile so we can help shortlist the universities for you.
Okay,
And
so
maybe you have to
I'll
look
try
at
and
also, depending on which universities, also your profile accordingly in the extracurriculars and projects and other academic activities.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhruv Patel inquiring self-reporting of SAT. Depends on the university, but Dhruv
Yeah.
would like to elaborate.
Yeah, actually, yeah, as SAT is not mostly required by most of the Canadian universities, but I know some do.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure whether, I mean, again, as you said, it will depend on the university to university, but
Yeah.
self-reporting, I don't think so they'll take. It has to go officially.
Yeah, typically all SAT is all,
Yes, yeah.
all sent directly.
Yes.
I'll take that as answer. Dhruv, do you have any further query? Okay. I'll just type it.
I think he's wanting to know something. He's saying he can't unmute.
How costly is OUAC? Well, Ontario University Application Center fee you're referring to? I think it's about 50 or 75 Canadian for each university.
Yeah.
So we can again take you through that process. Would you like to unmute yourself? Okay. Perhaps then we can perhaps take this conversation offline if it's very specific to the OUAC, but we can assist you accordingly. I'll just put it in the chat. An anonymous saying, applying to multiple colleges, how do we send LORs for each college?
It would be, you will have to arrange for multiple LORs. Because
Yeah.
usually the LORs, you cannot colored photocopy and provide it to the universities or colleges. So you'll have to ask the referees to provide you that. But it also depends, because nowadays many of the universities have an option that they can actually send it online. So, usually when you fill the referee details and the official email ID, an automated email goes to them asking for the reference.
Most
So
of the colleges will also take the online, I think, or scan
Yeah.
copies, or a combination of both, depending on the university. I know the universities would obviously take it directly from the references, which will be confidential. Yeah, perhaps you can get in touch with us and we can help you outside accordingly. What are the requirements for admissions to Canadian universities apart from the examinations? There's no specific requirements, but if you want, apart from law and medicine, which obviously have certain specific requirements, there is no other mandatory requirements, right? Anusya?
Yeah, only IELTS would be required for the visa.
IELTS and IELTS. Right.
But just to let you know, if somebody, is the student for masters or undergraduate?
Yes,
Because
that
if
also
it's a master's student, some of the universities for master's program do require a GMAT or a GR, so that has to be taken care of also.
Okay, I'll take that as answered. Maths compulsory for biotech. I think we have already considered that in the earlier question. It's typically mandatory, minimum 70% plus. I think Kushi we've just perhaps spoken to, or was it a different Kushi? Kushi Mehra, I'm in class 11. I'm looking at business courses for undergraduate. What are the typical entry requirements?
Most of the universities requirement are based on your academics. So once you're in your 12th, you can start applying. So you just need the class 10th marks and the predicted class 12, because by the time you start applying, the 12th results are not yet declared. So the predicted grades would help you to get a conditional letter from the university. And if it's a business, then many of the universities might be very rigid on the maths requirement. So that you'll have to take care. Like if you have maths in 11th, then in 12th, it's not a problem.
Answer your question, Khushi?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
Are you
much.
looking for next year again or the following year?
The following.
Following year, okay. And typically maths would be a requirement for business, for most business courses, as you mentioned,
Yes.
BBA typically.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's type down the answers.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so like last year's 10th exams were held online.
Mhm.
So the board result also were based on the pre-board marks that were taken online. So would that affect if I apply for universities after my 12th?
Not really, because it's a common problem all over the world, right? So
Yes.
for many countries, it has been the same thing. So they will be considering the 10, 12, 10 marks you have. So not to worry about that. Even this year, like many of them actually didn't give 12, but they had considered the scores which were provided to them by the school. So should be fine for admission.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Frederick George, saying his son in class 11, taken PCB, wants to specialize in zoology undergraduate.
Yeah, maths might be again an issue because math, again, these kind of programs will require maths.
Including biology, I presume. I guess
Yeah, so
zoology
he
is,
has
yeah.
bio, so it's not a problem.
Okay. So he may have to switch his program or
He
course.
has to take up, and he can take as a
Again.
sixth subject, he can take maths actually.
Will it help to take a SAT 2 maths or an AP maths or related, or I don't think
Depends because
it won't help
it-
from an entry requirement, I think.
yeah, and it depends on the university. Some might be flexible into considering that, otherwise not. But I know NIOS, most of them do because it's part of the curriculum in India. So
Okay,
that's
so
why
he maybe consider that.
otherwise he's still in 11, just would have started with the academic.
Yeah.
So if he's good in maths, best is to take up the maths as an extra subject.
Extra subject, right?
Yeah.
Right. Khushi, I think we just spoken to her. She has question in what are
CV.
the CV aspects? I think that's anyway covered in the anything in particular which you would like to add?
See, at an undergraduate level, ideally, most of the universities will not require a CV.
Yeah.
But to sometimes apply for some specific scholarships, CVs are needed. So in that space, you have to really specify what you have been, contributing in the school societies, or you have done something into, related to society, like working with NGOs or helping in something, Swachh Bharat. It's those kind of
Right.
social works if you have, because that they do give a lot of preference to that. So you have to highlight everything you've done, basically starting from 10th, 11th, and 12th. Highlight those.
In your personal statement, especially, right?
Yes.
Right. Just mention that. Alekia, seeing she's completed class 12. Again, PCB, can you suggest courses to take maths that is recognized by most Canadian universities? I think she wants to do
Yes.
undergraduate in maths. Is that the question, Alekia? And without maths, is it, in class 12?
Hi, this is Alekia's father. So,
Oh, yes, please.
so
Go ahead.
She has already enrolled in Durham College, and she is going for Jan 22
Okay.
dental assisting intake.
Okay.
But she would want to go into a medicine career, and most universities I think recognize math here, so she does not have a math in the 12th. So what are the other options where she can apply for any undergraduate program after this, what she completes?
Even from the Durham College, actually, if they have an option of picking up maths as an extra subject, you can do that, because Canada usually provides a very flexible system. So even if you're taking what specializations are you mentioned? I think I missed that.
Dental assisting for a year,
Then
actually.
okay, for a year.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure whether that program can offer a maths, but if you're really taking up maths as an extra subject, that sometimes do help. Because for other programs also, the university level, they do help. If you're taking the courses, along with that, if you can take as mandatory maths, that might help you further if you really want to go into, medicine would be anyways, I think this 1-year program will not
Yeah.
help you with the medicine program.
Right.
So you'll have to have a proper graduation actually from there.
A full 4-year bachelor's in
Yeah, full year graduation, yes.
bio or chem related.
Yeah. Okay. What are the usual bachelor's or undergraduate programs to pursue medicine?
Anything to do with science, because you would be dealing with those programs only during your entrances, the MCAT. But ideally, just to let you know, it's Canada is very flexible. Even students, at one point, if from a BCom might think, maybe from a student in the second year might want, okay, I'm doing BCom, but I want to do medicine. Even that is possible in Canada, because Canada provides so much flexibility. But the only thing is students will have to cope up with the missing maths and science courses. So might land up taking some extra courses in their 3rd year and 4th year, but they have an option of doing that. So if he is doing a dental assistant, I mean, ideally, after this, he should actually try to complete a degree there so that he is eligible to sit for the medical school entrances.
Okay. So, but the college degrees are usually recognized by the universities, or is it?
It is, yeah. It's a public college, so it would be recognized, yeah.
Okay, so the credits can be transferred.
Credits can be transferred, but the only thing is, university level, he will really not get anything into dental. So it can be only few of the courses he might get the credits for, not all, because the courses will not match at all. No, so maybe the elective courses only he'll get credits for.
Understood. Yeah, thank you so much.
You can maybe send us a profile. We can look at it for any alternatives, presumably for fall next year, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dev Rajput, interested for masters in computer engineering or related in 23.
Yeah,
Dev, you're not given your profile, but yeah.
Yeah, totally depends on the profile. Actually, they can obviously forward the CV to you.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of options available in Canada. It's engineering, something into computing, data analytics. I mean, a lot of options are available, but obviously we need to see your profile and guide you accordingly. Usually they really require high academics. So I would suggest if you have a 70+ in your graduation, it should be fine. You shouldn't have a problem in getting through. But some universities also have entrances, like they have technical interviews or programming tests. So those also you might have to clear out. And some universities also have an option that you have to give a GMAT. So that's a mandatory thing.
Right.
So again, depending on the profile, we can guide you which universities and what all exams you will need to give before you try for the
So what all things should be there in our CV?
Currently, your CV would be, because you're still 2 years to go. So I mean, to try. So obviously, it will depend. Currently, it would be only your, I think, the percentage. You'll just have to manage and maintain the percentage here.
Depending on your target universities, you may have to show extra either internships or any application that you've developed either within college or during some work experience, which will help display and showcase your technical competencies. Given that you have 2 years to go, that's obviously sufficient time, and you would most likely need to do a GRE too.
Yes, GRE or a GMAT, because I know LaTeX does not, or a GMAT.
Okay, and if we need to study this computer engineering in the university, what would be the average grades?
As I told you, it would be around 7. If it's a CGPA or a percentage, it has to be above 7 CGPA or a 70+, and with no backlog, not many backlogs, like 2 to 3 backlogs are still fine. But if you have more, that's a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You just get in touch with us. We can help you. There's still some time to go, but we can see how best to take you forward.
Sure.
Shivangi Bhadwaj for PG Diploma in Psychology, asking for any alternatives.
Yeah, I think again they'll have to provide you the.
Let's see. Yeah,
CV
profile is
check,
very specific, right?
Very specific.
So typically, you'll have to do something either related directly in a bachelor's or something sociology related with some work I think, which will help for a master's or a diploma program in psychology. Okay, I'll just type that in.
Just to add on, Shivangi, if you have already completed your bachelor's, it's a different issue. But if you haven't, then something known as a credit transfer is also possible in Canada. Like if you've already done 2 years here in India, then the 2 years of the courses which you have done in the first and second year, that can be actually transferred to a university in Canada. That is known as credit transfer. So obviously, instead of really doing a 4-year program, you might land up doing just 2 years there and get a Canadian degree.
Right. Ashi Tripathi, is maths compulsory for medicine post-graduation?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
That would be required.
Yes.
And maths, obviously, I guess for an MD, you'll have to take it in class 12 anyway, right?
Yes.
And then follow prior to that, having done a bachelor's 4-year degree.
Actually, he is wanting a postgraduate medical program, which as I said, it's going to be very tough. I mean, just a kind of a public health program might be possible. That also would be very competitive.
Competitive, requires maths.
Yes.
Ashi, anything further? If you want, unmute you. Go
No,
ahead.
sir.
Okay, all right. Looking for next year?
No, sir.
Okay. Following, all right. Thank you. Rashmi saying BCom graduation, working as UX UI designer, 10 years with a BCom, looking for masters in UX UI design. Is that possible?
Again, very specific to the profile, because depends on the university whether they specifically require a degree in that, or they are fine with getting experience. 10 years experience is a lot, but again, it will maybe need to have a specific look at your profile and then discuss further.
Especially if you have sufficient programming competencies and certifications, even that would certainly help. But do send us your profile. I think in principle we can assist you. Would you like to have any further clarification? You can unmute yourself.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
So yeah, I was also trying to understand colleges and the university section. Like, does that hold like same kind of weightage? Because I was researching a lot about it, and so I was just trying to understand. Because for masters, I see, especially for my case, they are looking for 4 years of degree or so.
Yes, that can be possible.
Yeah, because BCom it's just like 3. So then, but the college section, that is kind of working out. But I just want to understand, like, how's the weightage? Like, is it?
Actually, college and university, if we talk about, there's a difference sometimes with the curriculum they are, providing to the students. So, but, like your program, basically, you might require a lot of hands-on experience. For that, a college might not be a bad option. But, if students really want to get into something like a management or something into finance, sometimes the degrees are better because they are more intense and they provide you more knowledge. Even when you go to a job market, they will certainly understand that there's a difference between a certificate program and a degree, from Canada. So that is why, colleges are a little flexible in taking students, but masters, because they have to, have that kind of level. So that's why, even the entry requirements are quite high for them.
But then it would be equal to a PG.
It would be, obviously, if you're doing a PG, a college cannot provide you a degree, right? So you will be obviously having a diploma or a certificate. And if you're really doing for a master's program for a university, they usually offer a proper master's. So that makes you eligible for a 3-year work permit also. And certainly weightage is slightly more for a degrees.
Thank you.
You can send us your profile, Rashmi, and I think in principle, given your significant work ex, you should be eligible. I think most universities, right, do need a 4-year.
Yeah.
And certainly your weightage will be given to your work ex. Also, you're looking for Jan or fall next
September,
year?
September, yeah.
September next year. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Dhruv inquiring. I've done first language English. I'm giving SAT. Do I need IELTS? I think IELTS is required for visa.
Yes.
But I think from an academic point of view, I think it's still preferred for most universities. Would you like to clarify, Anushya?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely right. You've already answered that actually. So because IELTS would be required, universities can still give you a waiver based on your results and the SAT results, but still the visa would require an IELTS. And in fact, for Canada specifically, there's a specific way to apply. It's known as STS. For that, IELTS is mandatory.
Yeah, under the student direct
STS,
scheme.
student direct stream. Yeah.
Okay, right. Fund requirements for visa. I think really very broad question. If you can perhaps let us know, depending on whether it's under SDS or not. Typically, full tuition fee to be paid with GIC, but it's very broad question. We can certainly have that conversation offline with your profile in mind. I'll just type that in. Saral, in case of MD, I guess we have just answered this question.
Yeah.
After a graduation, 4 years, typically bio related.
With maths.
With maths and highly competitive. And I guess it's typically a 5-year requirement. If you're only keen on Canada, then that's what is the requirement. There are other alternatives. If you wish, you can send us your profile. We can consider that for other countries. Saral, I don't have your profile on hand, but okay. I think that we have answered your question. Dev Rajput, average grades for CS engineering, I presume it's undergrad. Dev, would you like to?
Yeah, again,
online?
70 plus, I would say. Even if it's
Okay.
undergrad or masters, the only thing is in masters, not too many resits are considered, taken into consideration.
Right,
So that might happen.
Okay. I'll just type that in. Bachelor's design is maths required. Bhavneet Rathi.
If it's, basically depends on what program. It's kind of a BA into design because that is also available in some of the universities. Then maths might not be required because they will want to see, depends on specifically what design you're talking about.
Right.
So if it's a kind of a program which you're looking into a computing science, then maths would be required. But if you're looking into which is a more of a BA, so then maths is not required.
Okay, let's type that in. Shivangi, keen for PG diploma in psychology. I think we've just considered that based on your profile, Shivangi. Are there any specific colleges which come to mind, Anusia, which?
We actually don't have too many colleges. So we have universities.
More universities, right? Right. Okay. Perhaps we'll have to take that offline, Shivangi. You can send us your details. Bachelor's in Design, Bhavneet, I think we just answered. I think similar questions, commerce with maths, courses with fees in class 12. I'm having commerce with maths, fee structures.
Yeah, actually, fee structure will again depend on university to university, very specific to university to university. It can range starting from somewhere around 20,000 Canadian dollars can go up to 35-40 Canadian dollars, 1,000 Canadian dollars per year. So it totally depends on what university you're going for. So it's not same in all the universities. So just to give you a range, can on an average, if you really talk about a medium public university, would be somewhere at around 24,000, 25,000 Canadian dollars per year.
Right. Would you like to just have any closing comments on typical deadlines for Jan intake and what typically courses are available?
Sure. Jan, most of the undergraduate programs are available. Masters, we might have some limitations, but undergraduate also, some of the universities, the deadline are actually very close. Some are actually ending on 1st of September. So students
Right.
really need to apply fast if they're looking for a January intake.
Right.
Yeah, some universities might be open a little later also, but then they should actually connect with you immediately if you're really looking for a Jan intake. But if it's for September, we still have a lot of time.
Right. And I think there's lesser master's courses also in Jan.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
they will have a similar deadline by early September.
Yes.
Right. I think I've covered most of the questions apart from the duplications. Scope for geography, I guess similar undergraduate programs. Anything in particular in terms of subject specific requirement?
No, because it's a BA program, so no, nothing specific required.
Nothing specific. All right. I think we have already covered engineering. Typically for grades, no mandatory exams apart from IELTS.
At an undergraduate level, no, it's only specifically only IELTS. Some universities might require SAT, but at a master's level, it will depend from university to university because they can have more requirements.
Right. And which intake is preferred, September or Jan? I think you've answered that, but there's perhaps more courses available. Right?
Yeah, September is a major intake is the September. And apart from only intake, if you really talk about getting adjusted to a new place, September is better because if you're really planning to go in January, it's going to be too cold. So for some students, it's a little difficult to cope up with the condition there. But if you go in September, then you have enough time to look around and actually adjust yourself. So, but otherwise, the intakes, if somebody is really offering a January intake, it would be a proper full-time intake. So it's not a problem. Like you won't be really losing up, doing any particular course.
Right.
But some universities don't have an undergraduate engineering option for January specifically.
Okay.
They might have a May intake and the other would be September, but not January.
Okay. Right. I think this pretty much covers. Any final comments, Anushya or Bindu?
No, thanks for joining in, so that has been this, and they were really good questions.
Yeah.
So we were happy to answer. And anyways, you can all be in touch with Ranveer or anybody from Combine, so they can guide, and anything specific required, we are here to help you.
Right,
So,
right, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yep. I'll just post our website again on the chat and the email so that you can look us up. So it's clear, and we'll be in touch with you in due course. Even if you're looking for 23 intake and you have certain queries, do get in touch, especially if it's CV related, profile building and other things, especially for some of the more competitive universities. All right. Okay, thank you, Anu and Bindu, and everyone else for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Ranveer.
Thanks.